the BEST Center. The BEST Center was established for the purpose of supporting the development of capacity development. And this was a need-based center because at the beginning of the center, we realized that a lot of businesses and business owners.
The BEST Center was established for the purpose of supporting the development.
Okay. So at the onset of the BEST Center, we realized that businesses and business owners sometimes does not have the adequate capacity in all areas to be able to run the business effectively. And because of the overall objective of the chamber is to make businesses to grow, so training and capacity development become a very important part of meeting the objective. Is that, can we note, please? Okay. So training and capacity development became an important part of this. So the BEST Center was established to run training programs and activities for capacity development. We operate a world-class learning center for the development and improvement of entrepreneurship, technology, and other vocational skills. So now, what are we doing here today? Why are we here? What is the gender and disability inclusion course all about? A few years ago, the center went into partnership with one of the development partners. And what we also identified was that it's a lot of issues that has to do with people that lives with one form of disability or another, or women generally. This initiative started with focus on the technical vocational education training, how people with people living with disabilities are being disenfranchised when it comes to going into technical vocational education. But along the line, we co-developed a training manual in collaboration with the ACCI program, the German development partners. We had this training manual developed, and feedback from this training manual, by the time we start having this training with stakeholders within the gender and disability inclusion space, we realize that it is beyond gender and disability and stakeholders. So we need to make this open to the general public, especially to people that are interested in seeing the growth and development of women and people that lives with disabilities. So we went ahead to have this module in an online module uploaded on the ACCI BEST Center's e-learning platform. And the objective of this is to give access to anyone wherever you are to be able to access this course. And this is what we've been doing in the past 3 years. And this course I've seen to the registration of over 600 people have taken this course on our e-learning platform and still counting. So what is this course all about? The Gender and Disability Inclusion course is a self-paced online e-learning module on gender and disability inclusion. So it's online, it's there, it's self-paced. It is designed, number one, it is designed to build awareness and practical skills for inclusion in the workplace and society. Yes, we have women, a lot of women, traditionally and culturally in Nigeria, there has been some role that we have taught at the back of our mind that, oh, this role can only be fit by men. But no, narratives are changing, things are changing. So we also need to change this orientation. There are some things that we say, oh, people that live with one form of disability or another cannot do this kind of a thing. This thing is not for them. No, this is also changing. What we need to do is how to create opportunity for them to be able to be included within the framework of what we have. And that exactly is what this course is all about, to build awareness and practical skills for inclusion of either gender or the people that live with disability in the workplace and in society. This training is currently free of charge on our BEST e-learning platform as it is being supported by GIZ. So why does it matter? You as an individual, you as an organization, why does it matter for you to take a course on gender, inclusion, and disability mainstreaming? Number one, it promotes equity, dignity, and empowerment. There is this dignity that comes along with people, especially when they show interest in doing something, and their form of disability is not an impediment or a barrier for them to be able to for us to be able to give them the chance to prove themselves. So if we understand that, oh, irrespective of this person's barrier or challenge, we are intentional in making a workplace conducive for them, it promotes equity, it promotes dignity. Of course, these people can find a job or roles to fit in that will also promote their empowerment. Again, it aligns with global goals for inclusive development. When we talk about the goals, the national goals, the global goals, the SDG goals, it is very important. Inclusivity is a major part of it. Equips participants with knowledge to drive inclusive change in their communities. Yes, I must tell you that since the inclusion of this training at this best center, a lot of things has happened even within the center and within the chamber that has made us to be more inclusive. We have been more enlightened on ways we can include people that live with disabilities, most especially. And this has also transformed to other agencies that we have also trained, other individuals that, because we also run this training as a physical training, well, with another form of module, of course, as a physical training for individuals, for organizations. And this is gradually bringing a lot of change and reorientation among Nigerians. So who is this for? Individuals who express interest in learning about inclusion practices. We did this call not up to 2 weeks now, and we had almost 90 people indicating interest. So we are still hoping that today is Monday. I guess many people were busy, maybe reason they couldn't join the call, but they are definitely going to see this video later on because we'll make it available. So what I'm trying to say is that this is intentional for you. We didn't force you to do this. So there must have been something that has spike an interest in you for you to say, okay, let me register for this. And even for you to be here, that means it's something that you are very interested in. So that means this is for you. Your interest in learning about inclusion practices, you have applied, and yes, now you are now selected as part of the scholarship cohort. So what is expected? What you should look forward to in this course. This course is self-paced. That is, like Solomon mentioned earlier, we are going to give a space of 3 weeks for you to do this. If you want to do it at a stretch, it takes less than a day. But because you understand that some of us are busy, it's a self-paced module. So we are going to give a window of 3 weeks. Then we all come back together to discuss what we have learned so far. Certificate of completion upon successful finish. Then community engagement opportunities, 2 forums and future workshops. Yes, now going through this course has made you a part of the ACCI Best Center. We have a WhatsApp group already where we can communicate. We have the e-learning platform where you can drop your suggestions, your ideas, your contribution to how the course is being going. So what about this online course? Briefly, what is the learning objectives by the time you complete this course? Number 1, you will be able to include social disability activity. It is high time we stop disassociating ourselves, or we stop making people that live with one challenge or another inferior to us. This narrative must change. It is possible to include them. It is possible for them to contribute their quota to whatever we do. So this course, at the end of the course, should give you a change of orientation. You'll also be able to adopt an inclusive approach to your daily professional tasks. Some of us are human resource managers, some of us are logisticians. You know, we are going to see the pathways that direct to each area of expertise. But irrespective of our area of expertise, we'll be able to see and understand and even adopt an inclusive approach on our daily activities. Take action for inclusion in Nigeria. Of course, I'm really excited that we are going to have at least additional 80 people taking action for inclusion in Nigeria after this training. Then the online course now. The online course is structured into 2 pathways, I must say. We have one common pathway. That is, once you log into our e-learning platform, you will see the gender and disability inclusion course. That is the first common pathway. You must take that course. It's compulsory you take that one. After that one, then we have 3 profile-based pathways, depending on your profile. You cannot decide to choose one of the profiles that really resonates with what you do. But you are also free to go through all of the profiles because there's something specific for each to learn from each profile. And the common pathway, the first course is has 5 sections. There are 5 sections in total. It can take you a total of 8 hours, even less, to complete those 5 sections. Then you do an evaluation. It must be completed before taking any of the 3 profile-based pathways. So this is a prerequisite for you to be able to access any of the other 3 profile-based pathways. So you must complete the common pathway. The profile-based pathways, as I mentioned earlier, we have the profile way pathway here. We call it the motivated teacher. So for this profile-based pathway, our targets are teachers, instructors, trainers, project managers, technical consultants, anyone within that space. Provide profile-based pathway A, it's more resonates with such expertise. Then for profile-based pathway B, we call it the role model. Of course, these are for senior executives. If you're in the position of decision-making, you're in the position of leading people, directors, senior managers, advocacy team as a role model, then this profile-based pathway B, it's more fitting for you. Then profile C, we call them the environmental enabler. That is the one that runs our daily activities within and outside the organizations. We have the administrators, communication officers, human resources, finance staff. Any other one can fall within this profile-based pathway. So after taking the first class on the common pathway, then you take any of the other. After completing the first pass, you take the second one, which is either one or all of the 3 profile-based pathways. Then for each of the 3 profile-based pathways, remember the first one, the common pathway, has 5 sections. But for each of this profile-based pathway, had 2 sections each, and the maximum of 3 hours, if you are doing it at a stretch, you should be done with one of the profile-based pathway. Then you do your evaluation. After that, once you complete the common pathway and you complete at least one of the profile-based pathway, you can go to the next step to get your certificate of completion. Solomon is going to run us through the actual process of going through the sites and getting this process done. Then this is just straightforward, how you can obtain your certificate of completion. So what is expected of you as a participant? We expect you to access the e-learning platform of the ACCI Best Center at learn.accinigeria.com. That is also going to be shared with you. Sign up, create your account, access your e-learning account, start your course. Start with the common pathway, which is gender and disability inclusion course. Within the time frame, go to the first either of the profile-based pathway that you want to go, or if you want to do the 3 pathways, you are all welcome. So we expect you to be able to do all of this within, at most, you can do this within a day, you can do it in 2 days, but maximum of 3 weeks. And I would like to see the enthusiasm in us that we are able to come through with this in the next few days. I want to start seeing people's certificates. Your certificates are generated automatically once you complete all that is expected of you to do. So you will definitely get your certificate to you. So I'm going to leave the floor now to then complete the course within the given time frame, then share your reflection and learning outcome. There is also an action plan within this course. You are going to see the document. We expect you to download this action plan. Complete it. It is your own personal action plan. If you require us to go through this action plan with you and to work it with you together, if it's something you really want to implement for yourself or for your organizations, then you can always reach out to us and we can do that. But we encourage you to download this action plan and complete it as your home plan after the training, especially when it comes to inclusiveness and mainstreaming of people that lives with disability. Then we look forward to hearing your learning outcomes, your feedback on this training. And also very important, we expect you to be an ambassador for this training. Even after listening to this, after joining in for this onboarding session, if you that in this space, this kind of course is required for, you can also always share with them and likewise with Solomon if they still have the opportunity to join this cohort or if they have to wait for the next cohorts. I think I'm going to stop right here And I will leave the floor for Solomon to walk us through how to navigate the e-course on the ACCI-based e-learning platform. But while that is ongoing on my presentation, if you have any question, you can just drop it on the chat box. While I'm on standby, I can easily respond to you, or you wait while we get to the general question and answer session. So, Solomon, you can take it up from here.
Thank you so much, Ma, for that clear presentation you have made. Just as I said before we started, this meeting is going to be precise and it's going to be very brief. But the video will be available on the YouTube for people who want to go over it again for clarity and for instructions. So straight ahead, I'm going to the website. The website is learn.accinigeria.com. Let me see if I can share my screen quickly to show you how it looks. Okay, I hope you can see my screen now. So the website is on now.
Yes.
You can see it, right? Let me know if you are seeing it in the comment section so I can know I'm supposed to proceed.
Yes, I can see it.
Okay, that's great. So the website is on. You can see ACCI logo. You can see ACCI logo and a few menus here.
Yes, I can see it.
Yeah, I'm going to drop the same link in that WhatsApp group so that people can follow it to the right website. So you don't have to mistakenly go somewhere else. And before I start, I want you to take every information from here directly, so you don't have to fall into hands of fraudsters and all of that. Go through all the links we are going to post in the group. So these are the right and the genuine links. You don't have to go stumble on other sites that begin to demand for money or whatever. Just as it has been said during the last presentation, this course is 100% free and it's for knowledge sharing. It's for knowledge sharing and it's 100% free. So anyone that is demanding money from you or your critical information, your credit card and all of that, just know that the person is fraudulent, right? So that's on that. So once you're able to access this page as it's displaying now, you are in the right place. The first thing to do as a first time on the site is to register. And once you click on the button register, if you are following the screen very well, you should see that I'm somewhere on the right hand of the menu of the site. It shows register or login. Register/login. That's the command there. So once you click on it, it's going to take you to a page. Let me also stop sharing and show you the page as it's supposed to look once you are once you click on register. It's going to take you to this page. Okay. Audible. Okay.
My battery will get low.
I'm trying to share the page so that we'll all be on the same page.
I don't have a battery. I don't have a battery. I have 5%.
Okay, can you hear me now? I think I'm audible enough.
Yes,
Let me know in the box that you are hearing me clearly.
yes, we are here. I'm hearing.
Clearly, all right. That's great. So once you click on the register button, the register command is going to bring you to this
If
same
you can
page
be
that
more
is appearing on
audible,
your
your
screen
voice
right now.
is faint. Like I hardly hear what you're saying, please.
We are hearing her
Okay.
clearly. I think it's from your own
How
end.
about now? Is it fine? Is it better?
The other person that spoke before you, I was hearing her very well. Like it was so audible. But then yours, I don't know. I have to struggle to hear you.
Ah,
Not like I don't hear you, but it's stressing.
his own, the voice is clear. Maybe it's from your
Okay,
own end.
just give me a few
All right,
minutes. Let
no
me put
problem.
on my earpiece. I think that will be better. Hello. Okay, I think if you cannot hear very well, you may as well try to increase the volume of your device, your phone or your PC, so you can balance both sides from here and then from your end. Is it a bit better? Yeah, loud and clear. Thank you so much. All right, so once you click on the register command, it's going to bring you to the same page that has been displayed on your screen. This page, and this is very critical, so I'm going to take a bit of my time to explain it. So this is where everything begins. You have three options. I would advise you use the first option, log in with Google. That means you should create a Gmail for this training if you don't have before now. If you don't have a Gmail before now, create a Gmail account for this course. And once that is done, you can come back to this website and connect with your Gmail. It's going to automatically log in based on your credentials on your Gmail, right? So once you log in, then the journey begins. So let me stop and go back to the main page so that I can explain a few things there. Right, I think I'm here. Okay, so once you are logged in, by where you have register/login, is going to have your email address being displayed. It shows you are logged in. Your email address will be displayed somewhere here by the right. Under this login/register, you're going to see your email address, the one you logged in with. So remember I said, first of all, you come in here, you click on login, then you go to the login page and connect with your Gmail. Please follow it critically. This is the easiest way to go about it. So you connect it with your Gmail, your registered Gmail is going to log you in. And by the time you are logged in, under register/login, you are going to see your same email that you registered with being displayed here. That shows you are logged in. And how do you begin your journey? That's where we are. On this same page that we are now, we have two rows of courses. The first one you have on the first row is gender and disability inclusion. You have that row, a list of 4 courses. And then the second row, you have sustainable business stability in the new norm, post-COVID-19. You see that row also. But our main focus on this program right now is the first row, where you have gender and disability inclusion, right? So you begin from there. Now, how is the cost structured? How is it arranged? The structure of the course is such that you begin with the common base pathway. She explained a bit of that while she was making presentation a while ago. I mean, the director explained a bit of that. The common pathway in practical term, as we are here now, is this particular one we call gender and disability inclusion. Every participant must first of all go through the common base pathway, which is this gender and disability inclusion. And how do you even get here in the first place? You must have registered and you are logged in. So once you click on the gender equality and disability inclusion, which is the common base pathway, you go through the lessons from the first slide to the end. The lessons are structured in form of games, quizzes, drag and drop, right? You take lessons, then you go through a list of exercises. Some exercises might demand that you join the forum. You have to do certain things on the forum, then you come back to the learning portal and do your quizzes, your exercises. Then at the end of the lessons, you will do a final assessment. That final assessment is what will lead you to the next stage. You must score a minimum of 60% to be able to proceed. So you take the lesson seriously from the beginning. Of course, from the beginning, the lessons, the exercises, and the quizzes before the final assessment will prepare you for what you see at the end of your lessons of the gender inclusion, gender equality and disability inclusion, which is the common base pathway. Remember, we're still talking about the common base pathway. So once you are able to complete that and you have met the requirement of 60% score, you can now proceed to the next level. The next level is that you will have to select any of the profile-based pathways that aligns with your career growth, that aligns with your career path. For instance, if you are into training and education, you are a teacher, for instance, the profile-based pathway, the motivated teacher, applies to you directly. So once you finish the common-based pathway, you go to the next one, which is clearly labeled profile-based pathway, the motivated teacher. Now, let me quickly make you understand. Once you finish the common-based pathway, which is the first entrance into the course, there's no certificate for you, right? Your certificate won't be ready until you have completed a profile-based pathway. Understand that. Common-based pathway first for everybody, then a profile-based pathway, then, as the name implies, profile-based. What does your profile, career profile says? You complete the one that applies to you. So once that is done, at the end of you completing the profile-based pathway, and you finish your assessment as it's supposed to be, you are supposed to score 70% still at the end of your profile-based pathway course. Then your certificate will be ready, right? So then your certificate will be ready. It will now carry, you have completed so and so, and it will specify the pathway that you have completed. If it is the profile-based pathway, the motivated teacher you completed, you are going to have it stated directly on your certificate. So that being said, I move to the next profile-based pathway, the role model. If you are the CEO, the chief executive officer, or the supervisor of your company, or your duty demands that you provide leadership, the role model pathway is what you should do, right? That means after you finish the gender equality and disability inclusion, which is the common base pathway, you now come to the role model, which now serve as your own profile career path, and complete that as well, right? So once that is completed, you now have your certificate too. And of course, you have to go through lessons too there. You do lessons, you do quizzes, you do exercises. Then at the end of the whole thing, there'll be a final assessment, which you must score minimum of 70% to be able to qualify for your certificate, right? Then the last profile-based pathway is the environment enabler. It's for technicians, logisticians, and what have you. Other profile that is outside of teaching and leadership. They go for the environment enabler, right? So once you choose that as well, just like every other pathway, you are able to complete the lessons, the quizzes. Some of the quizzes are drag and drop games, more like games. In fact, they are interesting applications that you can play around with. Once you're able to finish that as well, you have to complete your final assessment too and meet the minimum requirement of 70%. At that point, your certificate will be ready too. So we have said there are 3 pathways, right? But for every pathway you want to complete, you must first of all finish the common-based pathway, which is gender equality and disability inclusion. And I've said that if you finish the gender and disability inclusion, which is the common-based pathway, no certificate to be ready at that point. It is when you complete a profile-based pathway that you are now qualified for a certificate after meeting the final condition, right? So I think that is understood. But what of the people that have the time to finish the 3 pathways? Yes, within this period that we are on this program, if you have a lot of time, of course, you can finish the 3 pathways. That means by the time you're able to complete the 3 of them, you have 3 certificates, right? But the standard is you complete the common-based pathway and a profile-based pathway for you to be qualified for a certificate, right? I think, yeah, so that is it. So the summary is this. Once you get to the landing page, the home page of this learning portal, your concern should be on the courses on the first row. Ignore the ones on the second row. Ignore the ones on the second row. And what do you have to do as your action point? After you register, you come to the first course here, which is gender equality and disability. You complete that and meet the minimum requirement of 60% during your final assessment. From there, you pick any of the profile-based pathway. And once that is done, you'll be qualified for a certificate too, right? But if you, just as I said before, if you have all the time, you can complete the 3 pathways. And that way you have 3 certificates to your name within this period that we have. So that being said, yeah, that being said, I think I've done justice to it. The rest of the follow-ups will be done on the group. Questions, issues that may arise. And we said before that if you devote 12 hours at a stretch, you'll be done with this course, 12 hours. But since it's a self-paced course, meaning you could do it at your own time, at your own free time, you could split that 12 hours across the 3 weeks that we have, right? You could do 2 hours today, 2 hours tomorrow, 2 hours the next day. And by the time you are able to have all of it collated within 12 hours, you are done. And what if you have 12 full hours at a sitting? You can complete your course, your training course, right? So that's a standard for it. So once that is done, you have your certificate to yourself. And of course, the importance of the certificate and how it applies to you has been extremely dealt with during the director's presentation. So at this point, I want to have some feedbacks and possibly questions so we can begin to talk of rounding up. Yes, let me get some feedback. Let me know people are following me up on my demo from the chat box, or you can unmute, ask questions, and let me know if you have feedbacks. Thank you.
Yes, from me, it is well understood, and
Right.
we can't wait to join the course.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Yeah, feedbacks, questions. So we can begin to draw the curtain. Then I'll post the link. Of course, I told you should always follow the links that I post in the group. So you won't be diverted somewhere else, for safety and for privacy. So I will drop the link now on that WhatsApp group. And then I'm also going to drop the link to this video, to the video of this session, so that you can always go over it again in case there are things you need to clarify, right? So maybe I can have one or two feedbacks or questions, then we'll try to see how to round up, and then you begin to work. Hello? Am I here alone?
No, we can hear you.
All right, so it shows the silence connotes
That's not
understanding, right?
Yes.
Because we already understand all that has been said. And what we need to start doing now is to swing into action of learning. And just to say, you could use your phone, your PC, your laptop, or your tablet, any of the devices that you know is convenient for you. Or if you have a PC and a good network, you enjoy them more. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. So it is a journey that has just commenced. So we continue our conversation on the WhatsApp group. Thank you for joining, and let's do well to begin today, because the time starts counting the moment we finish this course. So once it's 3 weeks, it means your period has elapsed. 3 weeks from today exactly for everyone to complete. Thank you so much, and have a nice time studying.
Thank you too.
All right.
Have a good day. Yeah.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.